Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again. Today I want to talk about the universe and the power of compound interest. You hear me say after every video that if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure: when we help other people, we help ourselves. And for anybody who doesn't know what that's talking about, what I'm referring to is when you help somebody else, the universe will reward you for your sacrifice 10 times, 100 times, sometimes 1,000 times. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. It's a principle. It's a universal law. So I want to tell you a story that represents this compound interest. If you've ever heard my story, which I told you my story yesterday, I ended up in a homeless shelter because of my drug and alcohol abuse. Well, 3 or 4 years later, I'm at a meeting there. You know, they had meetings there for alcoholics and addicts, and a friend of mine showed up. A childhood friend. I'd known him for years, over 30 years at that time. And he was in as bad a shape as I was when I got there. He said, Calvin, he said, can you give me any clothes, man? You have any clothes that you have that you could give me? I don't have anything. And I said, sure I do. And he said, I gave him my address. He said, I'm going to send my father over there to pick up the clothes. I said, okay, that's good. So I went through my closet and I filled up 2 black plastic bags of clothes. And these wasn't just any clothes. These were nice clothes. Because I know the power of the universe and the power of compound interest. It doesn't matter what your motive is. My motive was to help him. His father came by and I gave him the clothes and I forgot all about it. But 4 years later, we went to close on our first home. And I was so happy about it that I sent the bank a bouquet of flowers. Well, the very next day when I went to that homeless shelter to attend one of those meetings, I see this guy, same guy I gave those clothes to. He said, hey man, you sent those flowers to the wrong people. I'm like, what are you talking about? How do you even know that I sent flowers to the bank? He said, because the underwriter on your loan was my sister. And it blew me away because I didn't even know his sister. I knew him, but I didn't know his sister. And here's the backstory of that. They attended the same church as my sister. So my sister was going up to the front to give her offering. And the guy's name is Willie. He says to his sister, yeah, that's Calvin Roach's sister. And his sister says, Calvin Roach? That name rings a bell. His file's on my desk. You know, my home loan application, my mortgage loan application was on her desk. And her brother went on to tell her how I'd helped him in his time of need, because he's the oldest in the family. She looked up to him, and he went on to tell her all the things I did for him because I became his sponsor. And don't you know what his sister did? She went back and had these people, because she was getting ready to stamp reject on my application and send it back. But instead, what she did was, she sent it back and had them correct every error in that application until my loan was approved. Now, you're talking about the universe taking 2 black plastic bags of used clothes. And 4 years later, by the power of compound interest, turn it into our dream home. Because, see, we were on Section 8 at that time. Had she rejected that, maybe I would have lost interest. Maybe I would have been discouraged. Maybe I just would have given up. But because I'd helped her brother 4 years prior, 4 years went by. Remember, compound interest is just interest paid upon interest. A simple example would be if you had $100 and paid interest. The first year you'd have 105. The next year you would have 110, 25. And it keeps on going. But it turned those 2 black plastic bags, guys, of used clothes into a dream house. Listen, if you've ever applied for a mortgage, and I'm in the state of Kentucky, so you have to understand there's just thousands of banks and probably 10,000 of underwriters. What were the chances of my loan application landing on his sister's desk? Really the only person who could help me. Had it landed on anybody else's desk, it would have been rejected, guys. Had I not helped her brother, it would have been rejected. But it landed on her desk. And I know you're going to say, oh, that's coincidence. That's bullshit, man. It's the universe and the power of compound interest. So that's why I tell you that every single video I make, when we help other people, we help ourselves. Of all the people, and I don't really follow him a lot, but I did read one book by Zig Ziglar, and in his book he said, the fastest way to reach your goals is to help somebody else reach theirs. Okay? This is facts, guys. I don't come on here talking bullshit, man. This isn't about clicks and views. It's about sharing my life experiences with you to make your life better so you can improve on some of the things you need to improve on. See, knowledge is power. A lot of times, if you just have the knowledge, man, if you just knew better, we could do better, right? So thank y'all for stopping by again. Wherever you are in the world, man, there's always somebody less fortunate than you. If you can, help them in any way you can. I'm in the Philippines. It's Tuesday morning, the day after Independence Day. I'm in the beautiful Siquijor Island. I was going to go back to San Carlos City today, but I changed my mind, man. I'm tired of traveling. Okay, I'm retired. Not a day goes by that I don't help somebody over here. I promise you that. I want my compound interest. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care. Stay safe. Stay COVID-free. I'll see you next time. You know, the hairs on my arm still raise up when I think about that story. Imagine if I would have said, been selfish as I used to be. Because part of my problem was I was selfish and self-centered. And I was like, no, I'm not going to give him anything. But then I never would have had that 3,700 square foot home. So help somebody today, guys, if you can. If you're fortunate enough. Take care.